everyone, and welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So today again, we have only one article that we will be discussing in major, that is coming from the Hindu. A weak link in the elementary education chain. So basically, this talks about the role that various NGOs play in providing quality education in the country, and why is it important for us to realize the importance of all the stakeholders in this field and to move together in a collaborative manner. Here, the second one, we have news in flash, wherein we'll be discussing the small and crisp news points. Let's have a look at the LawSikho courses. So if you are also preparing for judicial services, you can definitely enroll yourself for this course. You can be a part of it. The link to this course is there in the description box, and you can download from there free study material as well, which will be really helpful for your preparation. Then we have various other courses also, like for CLAT, All India Bar Exam also. You can view them at LawSikho page. Now, let's see that what is the multiple choice question for the day. Gupkar Pact, recently seen in news, is related to first, Articles 370 and 35A of the Constitution, second, cooperative federalism, third, GST, or fourth, Monetary Policy Committee. So if you know the answer to this question, you can write it down in the comment section below. This is the descriptive question for the day. Why is it necessary for the various stakeholders in education to come together and work for the improvement of the quality of education in India? So the answer must be written within a word limit of 250 to maximum 300 words. With this, let's start our discussion for the very first article for the day and the only article for the day, which talks about the elementary education chain. Now, first let's understand that why are we actually using this word chain? When we talk about the education system, and if, like, for example, let's take the example of the elementary education, which is the first level or the basic education that we give to our children or our students. Now, when we talk about this elementary education, there are a lot of stakeholders, there are different levels, and there are different kinds of people and organizations that are attached or that are interconnected in this regard. For example, let's take the one scenario that there is a small kid. So the very first point in this chain of elementary education is the parents of, or the mother or the father, the parent of that child. Next, when he might move to some Anganwadi or some Asha workers, wherein he gets he gets involved into curricular activities or early childhood care activities. Then next level, he moves to some pre-primary school. On that next level, he would move to some secondary school, then higher secondary school, then higher education, and so on and so forth. So now you can understand that there are different levels, and that is why they're connected all together in a chain, and that is why we are referring this entire situation as an elementary education chain. Now, when we discuss about the chain, obviously different kinds of people, different kinds of entities, agencies, and organizations are responsible for providing quality education at different levels. Like, for example, if we talk about the early childhood care, we have Anganwadis, then we have pre-primary schools, so the schools, then in the higher education, we have the universities, colleges, etc. In the similar situation, the NGOs, that are the non-governmental organizations, play a very, very key and crucial role in providing education, and that too, we're striving that more and more quality education is provided to the children. Specifically, if we talk about India, where education is still a challenge in many sections of the society, and the people are still striving to have this basic fundamental right to education, NGOs play a very important role in bringing this to their accord and to make education possible for them. Now, having this introduction in our hand, we know now that a large number of NGOs are involved in the task of improving elementary education in the country. As of 2005, 6 lakh NGO workers were engaged in the education, and now, keeping the same estimates in mind, more than 12 lakh workers are engaged in the similar in the education thing, and of them 50% are in the elementary education. Now, by elementary education, as I just explained, the pre-primary education, like till the class 4th, 5th of the student, that is called the elementary education. Now let's understand that what is the scope of the work of these NGOs that they carry forward. Firstly, direct teaching. Now you must have seen many NGOs are those that actually teach children. So there are people who voluntarily, they attach themselves to such NGOs. They go and teach the children. They might impart any kind of skills that they know, maybe some kind of dance, painting, any drama or something like that. So they have classrooms demonstrating activities and methods to teachers and workshops as well. So it is not only limited to the students, but also many NGOs have taken up this task to train the teachers as well through various workshops, wherein they try to give very efficient skills to the teachers in order to deal the students and education more efficiently. Secondly, catalyze and influence the functioning of the system, because obviously we know that the government makes good efforts to give education as a fundamental right to all the children, but still, due to various limitations, it could be the budget, though we should not really have these limitations, but unfortunately we have them. And then also it may be due to the lack of workforce, due to the lack of budget at many times, due to the lack of digital divide that is existing, and various other reasons, it becomes really difficult for the government to reach out to the children in all the corners of the country. Now, in this situation, the non-governmental organizations, the NGOs, come to the rescue, and they actually catalyze and influence the functioning of the system in a very positive manner. Thirdly, significant contribution in the continuous professional development of teachers. Now, this is the CPDT. Now, here are some details about it. You can go through it as well. So, as we just talked about, that they also impart skills and education and training to the teachers through various workshops, and that, in finality, ensures continuous and professional development of teachers. Now, as the name itself is suggesting, that the development, the professional development, as in the development in the field of this teaching profession, and this development is continuous. That is keeping in check or keeping in mind the new technologies or the new requirements that are needed from the side of government, from the teachers. Now, here I would give you a very crisp and clear example that you would be easily able to understand this entire contention. Now, since the time COVID-19 had hit the country, all the schools, colleges, they were totally shut down. But it was realized that digital technology, or in a way, digital teaching could be something. It has been taken as the rescue, and now all the classes are going on online. But it was really difficult for our teachers to actually get themselves accustomed with this entire system, and to conduct efficient classes or efficient education system through the online means. Now, had this been done in a more potential manner, which obviously we are striving to do, so this is something that is called as the continuous development. So now definitely the teachers are more equipped to use the online techniques, the Zoom calling, or whatever you can consider for that purpose. So that is why the continuous development of teachers is also important in this regard. So with the huge potential to contribute to the improvement of educational quality, so that is why now, till this time, we know that the NGOs have played a very important role in bringing a quality education to the country. Now let's understand that how the inappropriateness of curriculum and pedagogy is affecting their contribution. Now, what actually the author here is trying to tell is that we have basically 4 major documents that come from the side of government that actually govern and at least claim to ensure quality education in the country. The first one is right of the children to free and compulsory education, which we all know as the RTE, or the Right to Education, 2009. So the section 29E also provides for quality learning, exploration, discovery, and so on and so forth. But the NGO workers fail to understand questions such as what is discovery, exploration, and child-centered in this context. As in, we are in the theoretical sense, we are definitely bringing in a lot of things, but it is important that we also make these terms, the real meaning of these terms, we should make the stakeholders understand as to what do we really mean by having these goals. Then the second document is National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009. Of this also, page 23 talks about the similar manner that we should have a democratic way of life, equality, justice, liberty, fraternity, and teachers should also promote these values, so on and so forth. Then we have the National Education Policy 2020, which is the NEP 2020. Of that also, para 4.23 says almost the similar aims that we have. And the one was this one, which is the continuous professional development of teachers. So these are the things that actually are at least in theoretical sense, working a lot towards providing quality education in the country. But if we really want to achieve it in the practical sense, it is important that the real executors, now be it the government forces, be it the private ones, or the NGOs that we are talking about, they should be well equipped and acknowledged about all these things. Now, what steps should be taken to fully realize the NGO's potential are? Firstly, strong program for capacity building of NGO workers should be taken up. NGOs do not seem to be paying attention to this area, and no university or teacher education college provides short-term or distance learning courses in this regard, and that is why it should be done and taken up as priority. So this was all for this entire discussion for the major article. Let's see what do we have for news and flash today. First is the savior baby. So this was actually the first ever experiment that was taken up in India, and fortunately we have been successful, as in the doctors have been successful to execute this experiment. So basically, savior baby, it simply means that where one of the siblings is suffering from some kind of disease. Mostly these are the genetical diseases, but they can vary depending from person to person. So to save that particular sibling, another sibling is brought into the world by the parents, as in it is knowingly conceived. And in the similar case, it happened that there was a boy named as, the name is not really essential, but I'm just telling you for your clarification. So there was this boy Abhijit who suffered from thalassemia major. So basically thalassemia major is one kind of a genetic disease wherein the oxygen levels of the hemoglobin or the blood is not able to refresh itself like a normal human can do, and that is why you need blood transfusions from approximately after every 20 to 25 days. So, to save the life of this young boy, the parents of this boy had actually conceived another baby that was his little sister through the process of in vitro fertilization that we very commonly known as the IVF method. And the doctors made sure that they conceive a baby that has the similar, exactly same, not even similar, exactly same HLC as of the elder boy, that is Abhijit. So HLC is the human leukocyte antigen. Basically, these are the group of this is the group that is available in the blood. It's like some kinds of elements that are there in your blood that actually ensure the immunity in the human body, and that is why they made sure that they exactly matched to that of Abhijit, and they did, and they actually transplanted the bone marrow into the elder boy, and so his life has been saved, and the young girl is also doing good. So this is a really good advancement that has been taken in this technology. Now the second, disease investigation for rhino. So the World Wildlife Fund India has published the preliminary report called as the prevalence of endoparasitic infections in free-ranging so-and-so. You do not really need to remember the exact name of this, but just given for the reference. So for the Assam and West Bengal to start a systematic disease investigation process for rhino. Now, basically, it's just that as we know that the one-horned rhino, they are the pride of Kaziranga National Park, specifically, like if we talk in specific sense in Assam. So a new research will be carried out, so in which the dung, that is the excreta of the rhino, will be studied as to what kind of parasites are prevailing in the rhino and what diseases they have to fight against. Third, Kupkar Pact. National Conference President Farooq Abdullah and Vice President Oman Abdullah met People's Democratic Party President Mehbooba Mufti and extended an invitation to hold a meeting of all signatories of Gupkar Declaration. Now, we only need to know that actually what Gupkar Declaration or the Gupkar Pact is related to. So it is related to it is a pact to fight for the restoration of J&K special status, and that means it is related to the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A of the Indian Constitution. And they say that the step that was taken by the government was totally violative of the fundamental rights and also violative of the Constitution, and so they want the restoration of the special status of J&K. So this was all for today. We hope it was a good session for you. Thank you so much.